it continues to try to stay right near support. Okay, so we're right in this range. Now, again, as it stays in this range, there's still be very careful when banks tumble like this, especially when Jerome Powell just came out on 60 Minutes and said more banks will fail. Possibility it can break out. You're going to very quickly come back to this low end here. Nothing's really changed from yesterday. If you're an XRP fan, you need to see this thing.
Wait a minute, everyone. Get ready for the ultimate crypto investing website, the Bitcoin Seller. It's your golden ticket to an exclusive insiders club. Expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news, all for you. Imagine all crypto insights landing in your inbox daily, like having your own expert team. Don't miss this VIP opportunity. Click the link and secure your spot. Join now and ride the crypto roller coaster with the Bitcoin Seller. In this video, Gareth will share his insights on the charts of Bitcoin XRP, NYCB, and Uber, and how they are affected by the earnings reports, the ratings, and the market sentiment. He will address some of the key questions and challenges that many traders face, such as: how does the inflation chart's wedge pattern relate to the Great Depression's 100-year cycle? How does Bitcoin's 42,000 to 44,000 range determine its next move? How does XRP's trend line act as support or resistance? How does NYCB's junk status impact its stock, risks, and opportunities? How does Uber's earnings reflect its performance, and why the stock pullback? Let's join Gareth in a conversation about these topics and more.
All right, guys, here we are. Let's talk a little bit about this chart here. In other words, the one thing I'm going to say, first of all, not much has happened in Bitcoin. It's been dead, but it continues to try to stay right near support. Okay, so we're right in this range. Now, again, as it stays in this range, there's still a possibility it can break out. But again, if the range gets violated to the downside, you're going to very quickly come back to this low end here. So again, watching this 44,000 level, you need a daily close. Remember, intraday doesn't matter to me. They pierce it, they whip it, they do this, they do that. It's where does it get a daily close? If it can get a daily close, then the probabilities increase that it can break out. Same thing here. If it pierces here, no big deal. If it has a daily close below 42, I honestly think we're headed back to that 38 to 38.5 level.
The support and resistance levels are the price zones where the buyers and sellers tend to converge, creating a balance or an imbalance in the market. Support levels are the areas where the price tends to bounce or find a floor, as the buyers outnumber the sellers. Resistance levels are the areas where the price tends to reverse or find a ceiling, as the sellers outnumber the buyers. Support and resistance levels can be identified by using historical data, trend lines, moving averages, Fibonacci retracements, and other indicators. XRP is the native cryptocurrency of XRP Ledger, which is an open-source, public blockchain designed to facilitate faster and cheaper payments.
All right, next up, guys, let's flip through. Again, I don't have a whole lot of time here. I did want to touch on XRP for you guys. XRP, I know there's a lot of big fans of XRP. I do want to just show a trend line that's a little concerning on XRP right now. It needs to recapture this line. So again, if we look at this, right, pivot low, look at how perfect this trend line is, right through all these lows, but it has crept below the line. And so again, if you're an XRP fan, you need to see this thing recapture approximately 52 to 53 cents, hopefully sooner than later. If it doesn't, you could be headed down. Now, honestly, there's not that much downside, right? I mean, you're talking probably like 46 cents of the downside to these lows right here, right? If you just draw a flat line right through there. But just be aware, in the XRP chart, you do want it to recapture 52 cents to 53 cents very quickly.
XRP is used as a bridging currency for cross-border transactions, as well as for paying fees, staking, and governance on the XRP ledger. XRP is also involved in a legal dispute with the SEC, which alleges that XRP is an unregistered security. The trend line is a technical analysis tool that can be used to identify the direction and strength of a trend, as well as potential support and resistance zones. A trend line is drawn by connecting two or more significant highs or lows on a price chart. Depending on the slope and direction of the trend line, it can indicate an uptrend, a downtrend, or a sideways trend. A trend line can also be broken or retested, signaling a change or a continuation of the trend.
first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about the key things. So overnight, we saw decent earnings coming out from a lot of stocks. That has generally propelled the markets higher in the pre-market. And even overnight, in most countries around the world, we saw the markets moving up towards their highs, obviously excluding China and a few other emerging markets. Okay, so the number two thing here I want to talk about, NYCB. Now, a lot of you guys have brought this up to me and said, hey, is it a good buy? All right, so again, let's talk about the news here and let's talk about what we need to know for this potential trading opportunity. So NYCB, we saw it reverse sharp losses before the bell after the news that the embattled regional bank promoted Alessandro Dinello to executive chairman. So if you looked at this, right, overnight, what ended up happening was we saw that the Moody's downgraded them to junk status. And in the after hours last night, the stock collapsed almost another 20%. But this morning, they came out with this news, and again, it reversed those overnight losses to actually go initially green. Now, we will take a look at the chart and see what the chart's telling us, but I will say this, guys, is that when you've traded as long as I have, I've learned certain things. And one of the things I learned, and I learned it just about a year ago in March, was be very careful when banks tumble like this, especially when Jerome Powell just came out on 60 Minutes and said more banks will fail. Okay, so again, he said that, then you see a chart like this that has collapsed from crazy levels. Like, we're now trading it in the $4 range after this was a, $10, $20, $30 stock at points in history. And again, the way it's collapsing is very similar to Silicon Valley Bank. And in fact, I was in one of those banks, and basically I was in it thinking it was a no-brainer. Oh, they'll rescue it, they'll do something, and it'll pop back up, and they halted it, and it never reopened. Well, it did reopen, but it reopened literally at less than $1. So I ended up taking like a 99% loss on that trade. And so as many of you guys are saying, oh, maybe they can do this, maybe you can do this, there's always that possibility. But again, I deal in a world of probabilities. And the probabilities are that there are going to be more banks to fail. In other words, even Jerome Powell saying that. And so I personally am not going close to this. Now, if you choose to, that's up to you. But just remember, factor in the potential for a full 99+% loss, or you could make 100%. But to me, again, lose 100% almost, make 100%, I don't know. You have to decide for yourself. Okay, on to the next thing. Uber here posted blowout earnings of 66 cents per share, crushing market expectations of a fall to 16 cents. A rise of 22% in gross bookings also beat estimates. So again, good news from Uber. However, the stock was trading at multi-year highs, vertical. In fact, we are seeing the stock pulling back a little pre-market. Remember, this is a lesson that I try to impress upon you guys over and over again, which is when a stock runs vertical up into earnings, when it's trading at all-time highs going into earnings and it's up X%, what are the probabilities that it can continue to go up on earnings?
If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.